When Trey was 16 months old, he started coming down with a fever every night. Did lots of tests. They ultimately thought it was just a sinus infection. After that had been going on for about 3 weeks, Trey's grandma called me one morning. She was watching Trey. She had looked at his stomach that morning and thought it looked especially big, like there was something protruding from it. We took him into his pediatrician right away. His pediatrician did an examination, drew some more blood work, came back in and told us that we needed to take him to Children's Mercy downtown right away. They did an MRI, they did a CAT scan, and they came in and told us that they thought he had either Wilms tumor or neuroblastoma. I was just completely devastated, and I did not know how I was going to get through it. That next day, Trey went into surgery. They removed his right kidney. It had turned into a 2.5-pound tumor. He was in the hospital for about 4 days recovering from that surgery, and then once he got home, he had to go through chemotherapy for 6 months. Once that was over, he didn't have any further treatment. We did have to go in every 3 months and have him monitored for a while. Wilms tumor, if it's going to come back as another form of cancer, it's usually in the lungs. So we had to have x-rays of his lungs done every 3 months. After everything had been clear for about 2 years, we were able to spread those visits apart to 6 months and then eventually to every year. At his appointment this past September, in September of 2013, they declared that he had been cancer-free for 5 years, so he was actually considered cured.
One of the things that I refused to be said around us was, why him? Why you? And when people said it, I'd respond with, then you pick the other little kid that has to have it. And I was convinced that our son was tough enough and he was going to get through it. And it was the only mentality that you could have. When I got a phone call that Trey was technically cured, that, without question, is the biggest day of my life, the most important day of my life. That was a day that closed a very dark chapter in our lives.
It's a cancer with a high cure rate, but that's only because they were able to do research to find effective treatments for that type of cancer.
To hope that cancer goes away, because I'd like for it to be eradicated for everyone, but I would just like to see some progress. I'd like to see some additional funding. I'd like to see more than a few dollars going towards childhood cancer. I would like to see more marketing campaigns.
I want every child who has this unfortunate disease to have those same type of success rates as Trey did.
It seems obvious to me that more money needs to put into childhood cancer research. And I'm not asking for it for my child. I'm asking for it for the people who still have children that have yet to be diagnosed.
When I grow up, I would like to be a pro soccer player and play on a really good team. Thank you for your donations. They saved my life.